Hi, my name is James Shepard, and in this episode, we're going to talk about why merchants cancel. Why merchants cancel. And this is because we're going through this income calculator. If you haven't been following along, go to instantquotetool.com. You don't have to sign in or sign up or anything. Just click on the goals up at the top. And we've been going through this income calculator, and I've got to pull up on my phone here. We're now at the very end, or at the very last one, and it's the annual attrition percentage. So by default, I have in there that 15% of your merchants are going to cancel every year. Okay, that's the default number I have in there. Now, this annual attrition is probably the most overlooked number. I've never, ever heard a processor talk about that number when they're doing recruiting, which is crazy to me, Like, wouldn't you want to tell people that? Like, we only lose, 11% of our customers every year, whatever it is. Why? Because that's a really important number. Now, short term, the first year, it's not going to matter at all, right? It's not going to matter really at all. But as soon as you get to that second year and onward, boy, that annual attrition, suddenly it's going to matter a lot. How many merchants are you losing? Because you're trying to build up your portfolio, but if you have to spend the first 3 or 4 months of the year selling just to make up for the merchants that canceled last year, it's going to be a lot harder for you to grow. Okay, so you need to monitor your annual attrition. So let me give you a couple of tips here on how to put that annual attrition number in. The first thing I would advise you to do is reach out to your processor and ask them, what is your annual attrition? That's a pretty simple question, right? And let them know, hey, look, I'm putting this into a tool. I have a little income calculator at instantquotetool.com. I'm just trying to calculate what my income potential would be with your company. I've put all the other information in here, and now I'm wondering, what is my annual attrition going to be? Now, be very careful. If you're talking to a recruiter, they may say something like, well, I can tell you our best reps. No, just stop them right there. I don't want to know what your best reps, I don't want to know what the lowest attrition, no. For your company, what was your attrition last year? Okay, that doesn't need to be a super secretive number. That's like asking, do you have good customer service? Well, it's easy to say, yes, we have good customer service. Oh my goodness, they must really have good customer service because they said yes. No, you don't know if they have good customer service or not. The question is, what is your annual attrition? Don't ask, do you have good customer service? Tell me, Bob, who wants to recruit me and make money off of all of my sales, do you have good customer service? You do? Oh, where should I sign? Stupid. Hello? Of course they're going to say yes. The question is, what is your annual attrition? So anyway, what should it be? Well, industry average is probably hovering around 20%. Okay, so about 20% of merchants cancel their merchant services every year and move to somebody else. So, that's kind of a guidepost. I know salespeople that are maniacal about customer service. They're always reaching out to their customers every month, sending them birthday cards, Christmas cards, dropping off candy things. I mean, they're doing all this stuff. Their attrition rate is inching closer and closer to 10%. You're not going to get much below that, but you can get down around 10, 11%. One thing that also really impacts attrition is the size of the account. You're actually going to find out that the larger the account is, the less likely they are to attrit or to cancel. So one of the big benefits of going after slightly larger accounts is that these larger accounts really don't like to cancel. Okay, what they want to do is they want to stay with one place for a while so they don't have to keep jumping ship and switching. Okay, so that's one big benefit. The smaller the account, the more likely they are to cancel. So if you're out there selling all these mom and pop shops, keep in mind your attrition is going to be a little higher. Okay, if you're selling a lot of larger ones, your attrition is going to be a little lower. If you are supporting your own accounts and you're doing a really good job at it, your attrition is going to be lower. If you're leaving it up to the processor, it should be around 20, 22%. If they tell you, well, our attrition last year was 27%. Ooh, boy, that's a little scary. They have some issues with customer service, right? So that kind of gives you a feel for attrition. I would change this number down here from 15%. I would change this number to 20%. Just because that's an industry average, and it'll give you a better feel for what your income potential really is. Then if it ends up being 15 or 12% because you're really servicing your accounts, that's a good thing and you're going to make more than you projected. But let's put it at 20%. Then we're going to move into our very last video next, last episode, and we're going to talk about how much money can you make? We put all the assumptions in. Now what does it look like? How much money are we going to make? What if we change some of the assumptions? How's that going to impact things? So we're going to cover all that in the next episode.